Hey everybody, welcome to another awesome Illustrator CS6 tutorial. My name is Buddy. Today we're going to be learning how to distort objects, or in other words, in Illustrator terms, we're going to learn how to reshape objects with envelopes. And envelopes are objects that you can use to reshape other objects. You can't reshape graphs, guides, or linked objects, but you can reshape like regular objects, just to keep that in mind. There's built-in like pre-made or pre-shaped envelopes, or you can use like a grid to warp your shape, and I'm going to show you how to do these now. So go ahead, make a shape. Take your selection tool and select your object. It can be one or more objects. Then we're going to go to Object, to the Object menu up here. We're going to go to Envelope Distort. And the first one we're going to click on is Make with Warp. And these use a preset warped shape. So if we see the style here, we've got a bunch of different kind of things. Arc, and then arches, and a bunch of different other things that we've got going on here. So I'll just stick with arc for now. We can either do a vertical or a horizontal arc. And if you want to see what these all do, click on this preview here. And then that's what the arc is going to do. Here's a vertical. It's going that way instead. You can check some other things out, and you can get some cool looking shapes made out of these. Alright, we'll just stick with arc for now. Now we've got the next thing, which is bend. And this is how much it's going to actually bend the warp, and then you can go negative to go the other way, or positive to even, and go higher up to even bend it even more. So that's all depends on you. Then we got some distortion here. You can go ahead and mess with this to get different effects, get more perspective on it and everything. Here's a vertical distortion. It's almost on its a different plane now. It's like kind of making it 3D. So keep those in mind. So those are your different warps. And then you hit OK when you're done, and it'll apply this effect to your object. I'm going to hit cancel. Go to Object again. We're going to go to Envelope Distort, and this time we're going to make with Mesh. And we're going to have an envelope mesh, it says up here. We've got 4 rows and 4 columns, and that's the default. I'll hit Preview, and you can see how many there are. And you can increase these to get more rows or columns. It's up to you what you want to use. I think I'm going to add one more so I can get some more points in here. And I want the points like at each section. So I'm just going to hit OK. Now what I can do is grab some of these points. Oops. And go ahead and select the envelope or the mesh tool over here, which is U. And you know you have it when you go over top of your mesh and you've got a square box with a little plus sign. So you can click on an anchor point here and start dragging, and it's going to start moving the mesh around. And this is how you can distort this in your own way, kind of. Now I made my own kind of mesh. If I click on a point and hit delete, it's going to delete that point out. If I hit Control Z, it's going to bring it back. If you want to add a point, you can just click, and it'll add like an entire row almost. So you can just click anywhere, and it'll add more lines going vertically and horizontally. So that's how you use that mesh tool there. Now let's go ahead and check out the options. So I'm going to click out of this. And as you can see, I can still hover over, and the mesh is still there in case you ever want to use it again. But we're going to go into the options. So click the Object menu. And we're going to go to Envelope Distort, and we're going to go to Envelope Options. The first section here uses rasters, and we're going to pretty much skip this because that's when we're going to use like JPEGs or something like that. We need to mesh those. And we can go over that at another time. This section we're going to come to is fidelity. And fidelity is pretty much how much you want the object to fit the envelope mold. So the higher up you go, the more it's going to fit. The lower you go, the less it's going to fit the mold. Couple sections that we got down here. Distort appearance. And that's going to distort the appearance attributes along with the object's shape. The second one we got down here, distort linear gradient fills, and that's going to distort linear gradients along with the object shape, and then pattern fills, and that's going to distort patterns. And then you can always select preview to check out what's going on. As of right now, it's grayed out, and most of the time it's going to be grayed out on this. So if you just go ahead and check those out sometime, not too much going on, but it's always good to know the options so you can have more control over what you're doing. So that's going to be it for this. Now you know how to use a mesh to be able to warp your objects, and you can use warp envelopes to also warp your objects to get new cool looking objects, I guess. So thanks a lot for watching. If you liked it, go ahead and hit the like button, and I'll see you guys in the next tutorial. It's going to be awesome. See you later.